Welcome to the Digital Amateur Television Experimenters Night. This is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered. Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV Experimenters Nights. Do you realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world? Also participate in the night by coming up to the Queen's Domain club rooms. Yes, right on top of the Queen's Domain in the heritage-listed Coast Wireless Station. You never know, we might get you in front of the camera or behind doing one of the many roles during the night. We get underway with our program on a Wednesday night from 7:30 p.m. local time. We'll see you soon. This is VK7 OTC.
Okay, on that rather sharp transition, this is VK7 OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania with our DATV Experimenters Night. And I have Richard VK7ZBX in the studio with me.
Certainly.
I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with merchandising. I'm advertising other merchandising, but very good. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
And a happy New Year and all that sort of stuff.
Happy seasonal salutations and all of that other sort of politically correct things.
We're having our DATV night tonight, so a bit of a precursor to New Year's Eve, given that our next one is in 2022, which is always good. Now, Richard and I know Steve VK7OO, who's out in our studio, out in our club rooms, have been receiving slow scan television, SSTV television pictures from the International Space Station, which is absolutely fantastic. So what I thought we might do is have a bit of a look initially at some of the wonderful images that we have been downloading.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
huzzah!
Now this is Richard's very impressive gallery of images. Now the theme it's Expedition 66, and the theme is lunar exploration. So there are a series of 12 postcards, images, which it goes all the way from the very early lunar exploration all the way through to some of the plans that the various space agencies have to put a variety of things on the moon and to start to actually use the moon as a bit of a launch pad. So we'll go through, so this is one of the early ones. This is 2 of 12. First spacecraft to reach the lunar surface, which was a Russian spacecraft.
Guessing it would have, yes.
So that would have interested the Americans no end.
This is one of the early ones when having issues with the Keplerian elements. And
that's all right. Now this particular image, I think this might have been the image that I actually got almost noise free. That's the first image of the other side of the moon.
Okay.
So that's what this one's all about. Lunar, which is 1st of January 1959, the first lunar flyby. Looks a bit like Sputnik, actually. The 12 of 12, so this is Expedition 66 ISS crew. And I've got the top of their heads, I've got their legs. Haven't quite got the whole body yet.
Timing's fairly poor, isn't it, really?
It's luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. So what you're seeing, that would have been end of pass,
yep.
I reckon, because I've got plenty of those where half the image is noise.
The later ones I got that are a bit better.
These are excellent.
I made the filter wider because it was at sort of 7 kilohertz. I made it 15.
Ooh, yeah.
It's sort of, so I was missing the sync pulse at the start.
Okay.
It's even skewed a little bit too.
So the
sort of angle.
Yeah. Okay. So this is one of the later ones. So this is the 11th picture of 12. The US, EU, Canada, and Japan lunar gateway. So this is the planned sort of stuff that they're talking about for making the moon the gateway to
further on
Mars and etc. etc. So and you did get it. There you go. 12 of 12.
Yep.
So this is the current ISS crew.
It's a bit skewed, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. The auto skew setting.
I normally do that. The boys spend a lot of time calibrating it, but I just set it on auto, and most of the time it works. But on this occasion,
it's quite interesting. I use SSTV on the Skywave Linux box, and that does the slant as it's receiving things. So you get
MMSSTV does the same. I think you actually see it change.
And then it adjusts. So there you go.
Obviously not on this occasion.
That's well. Apart from that, that's an excellent shot. That's really, really good. Oh, look at this. So this is 10 of 12. So the AI-based robotic arm for Lunar Gateway. So this is again the gateway, the moon as a gateway idea. Oh, look at this. Absolutely noise-free.
Yep,
fantastic. Oh,
that's obviously end of the pass.
No, certainly got one of them. Cut their feet off. Yep. Okay. You haven't seen this one.
Didn't quite. Just as it came over the horizon, it had started. So
okay.
Luckily, it managed to sync.
Yep.
But I just didn't get the top of it. So.
Okay. Now, this is the sort of stuff they're talking about putting on the moon as a logistics lander. So stuff that for storage, for transport, for a staging post sort of stuff. So some interesting ideas coming out here.
And that's the one I got today, which just did some really funky stuff.
Yeah, okay. That's slant and then ultra slant.
It's sort of like it lost sync and then tried to and
got a okay. Ooh, okay. And I think we're back to the beginning. Yeah. Okay. All right.
We've got some more coming down as we speak. So
the
system's on at home. So
correct. And at 8:07. So keep an eye on the time. At around about 8:07, we're actually going to go live, and I'll give you a bit of a look. Oh, hang on, sorry, zooming the wrong way. Here is our arrangement that we're actually. Oh, it's gone to sleep. But anyway, Steve, can you just touch the touchpad on there? There we go. So this is the little arrangement with the GPD MicroPC and the 705 that we're going to show you an actual real-time download. And in fact, that was the last one. If we zoom in there, that's the last, and do a quick bit of focus. That's the last image from the 6:30 pass. that we had there. A bit noisy, but yeah, there is certainly received something and something there. So that's what we're going to cross to at 8:07. Now, so what? Let me just go to. That's good, isn't it? I can never quite get it right. And PC and okay. Now this is. I just thought I'd show people. This is the ARISS SSTV gallery that is for Expedition 66. So this is the selection you can do for all of the ISS SSTV expeditions, and you'll notice here that all of these are absolutely perfect, and you can if you get a perfect pass, then what they do is they put it on the front page. I've managed to get one on there. But if we put in here VK7TW and do a search, these are the ones that I've uploaded, the ones that are half reasonable. There's our our cut-off feet with the expedition, the ISS expeditioners. That's the perfect one. That's actually the one that made it to the front page. Nice. This was an interesting one because it started off okay, bit of noise in the middle, bit of good stuff in the middle, and then a bit more noise. There's the expedition, the 12 of 12. Another one of those. That's the far side of the moon, and that's actually one that I got really well. That's a almost full no noise version of the other side of the moon.
Question from the gallery.
Yeah.
What's involved in uploading images?
They've got to be in JPG format. They won't.
Yeah, but what's the process?
Okay. I will show you the page, Steve, in a sec. That's actually I brought the page up, and I'll put the page URL in the description part of the video. So that's so you know how to upload it. Another one of those. That's not a bad one. That one there, number 4 of 12. That was a good one. That was and that was the. I think that was the first one that I got, which was again same thing. Came in partway through the pass. But from a point of view,
probably the same pass.
Well and truly. And then there's just noise at the end, which is basically it's finished, and the rest of the noise. Now the rest of these are the previous expedition, which was back in June, and then the previous expedition before that, etc., etc. So it gives me a bit of a history of ones that we've actually have been uploaded. When I looked at these, and in fact I looked at Steve's goes right back to about the same point that mine goes back to, which is ARISS ISS Sat. That was way back when they put a satellite up. They chucked it out of the ISS, and it had a camera on it.
Oh, yeah.
And there were all sorts of, and it was tumbling and all sorts of stuff. And so there was all sorts of images from that particular satellite, and then it died. But we both did a lot of decodes for that.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
It was good exercise that. So how are we going for time? It is 7:45. So Richard, what do you use? Describe your station.
Okay, so the station is just a 9100, ICOM 9100 or 9700, depending on what's plugged in at the time.
Yep.
The antennas, it's probably a bit of overkill. It's a 10 element crossed Yagi, so 10 by 10.
Okay.
It's the Mass Pro WHS32 Oscar Hunter. My goodness, they're like 30 years old.
I love it.
Probably more.
And still working fine.
Yeah, I haven't dared open the feed point. There's probably all sorts of things living in there. But So basically, a 10 by 10 cross Yagi, sitting on a rotator and elevator. So KR400 rotator, KR500 elevator.
Okay.
It comes back to a controller, which is a K3NG based device that just reads the voltages. It interfaces to SAT-PC32.
Okay.
So SAT-PC32 talks to the radio and does the Doppler, which is not really a problem on FM, but it talks to the antenna controller and launches it into action a few minutes before AOS and sort of tracks it, and then
Fantastic.
and it's all sort of pretty hands off. Well, I hope it's hands off. It's
Well,
happening at home right now. So.
The results are I think tell that it's
But-
fantastic.
As they say, with great power comes great responsibility. If the Keplerian elements are wrong or something's not right, like your time, then basically you can't. Like everything has to be right.
Yeah.
And there was an issue with the Keplerian elements that I think one of the VK6 guys discovered. There was they must have done a re-scan with the radar for the 2-line elements because they were wrong, and they were putting the spacecraft sort of 5 minutes behind its prediction. So of course my antennas are dutifully tracking 5 minutes behind. So it basically the controller kept the antennas just off the spacecraft.
Yeah, correct.
And it got to the point where I went, yeah, that should be really. So you actually turn the tracker off and actually manually go a bit. Oh, there's a really good signal. So
Yeah.
So again, the automatic tracking is nice if everything is aligned and it all works.
Correct. And they had to do a movement of the ISS just recently to avoid some Russian space junk from a satellite that they blew up that created 4,000 odd more bits of space junk.
A huge dodging manoeuvre, wouldn't it? Like,
and given your life probably relies on it, it's sort of
well, space junk's sort of rattling along at a reasonably
at 28,000 kilometres an hour.
So,
There's a wonderful picture that you've seen on the net. Have a search for it, where there is a block of aluminium that is yay thick. It'd be 300 or 400
that was hit by something.
millimetres.
Yeah.
It was hit by something that was like a centimetre in diameter at 28,000 kilometres an hour, and there's just this crater in this bit of aluminium, which is that's scary. That is just scary. So, if you've ever seen the movie Gravity, it's not strictly correct, but they do a good job of scaring the hell out of you.
We also use obviously Windows machine with just MMSSTV, which seems to be the go-to bit of software.
Cool.
As I talked to you before, I've tried to use Gpredict, and with the 9100 had some issues. I believe they've been fixed, but I sort of feel I need to use SAT-PC32 because I paid for it.
I love it. Okay.
It is pretty nice.
Cool.
And I think it's worth every cent. It's a bit of a steep learning curve, but once you get it all the bits all tied together, it works a treat.
Correct.
But so does Gpredict.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we've got 10 minutes. So from my point of view, FT847 being controlled by Skywave Linux PC, running Gpredict. So it is running Gpredict and the Hamlib libraries. It is using a program called QSSTV, which is very similar to MMSSTV. Does the same sort of stuff, but it's the Linux version. So that sits there. It does the Gpredict, does the tracking, does the Doppler shift, etc. So it's the whole thing. It just drives the 847. Now I'm using a quarter wave ground plane.
Yeah, which is the best thing to use.
Well, quarter wave ground plane, it'd have a nice sort of wide sort of pattern. A little bit of a null probably at the horizon. So, whereas the 5/8 wave would be good for the horizon because you've got a nice low angle of radiation, but you have a bit of a dip sort of halfway between, sort of coming over the horizon and sort of, you should probably have a gap maybe between 10 and 30 degrees or something. So
Yep. Okay.
I don't know how you go if you had both.
Well, I've had some real success. If it is on 70 centimetres, if the satellite is on 70 centimetres, I have Lindenblads,
Okay,
which
yep.
are the 45 degree in a left hand circular polarised arrangement and a right hand circular polarised arrangement that I switch with a coax switch
Yep.
between.
Yep.
And they have, you'll find those antennas mostly at airports
Yep.
because of their phenomenal low angle
Of radiation. Yep.
of radiation. And so I've had Gpredict telling me it's down over the horizon and it's below the horizon by X number of degrees, and I'm still hearing it. So, so really impressed with those. I do have all the bits to make a 2 metre version of them, but never quite got around to it. It's one of those round to it projects.
I think too, like I've got circular polarised antennas, which
Yep.
you can flick between left-hand circular and right-hand circular, but of course it's the age-old adage of if you go between left-hand circular and right-hand circular, you can lose like 20 dB.
Oh, correct.
So you sort of sometimes wonder whether you maybe should just be, vertical
45.
or 45,
Yep.
and then sort of like take the hit, which either way.
Yep.
And some of the fades on the ISS have been very deep. It'll be up at like 45 degrees, and it'll just you watch the S meter just go right down, and then just come right back up again. It's like really
Correct.
So it's there's no real magic sort of solution on this you've got.
No way in the world. And with the Lindenblads, I've had satellites where it has literally, I have switched and not heard anything from one polarisation to the other, and it's been rock crushing in the other polarisation.
Yeah, 20 dB is a lot.
Just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So, yeah. So, now, time check. We've got 7 minutes to 8 o'clock. So, in answer to Steve's question, I'll just get it up on the screen. There is a ARISS SSTV image submission form. So basically, and the way that I actually use this is I fill in all of the details. So there's name. They want to know whether you're an educator or not. Some call signs, some email addresses, the location, the long lat or the grid square, the time that you actually captured it in UTC. Now, the one thing I find really handy that QSSTV and I think MMSSTV you can configure it to do is it date and time stamps the image.
Yep.
Now, I've got it dating and time stamping the image in UTC.
Yep.
So when I browse it and upload it and select the file,
Then you can go back to those.
correct, and put in the date and the time in UTC that you actually, and there's a little comment field there and upload, and that's literally all you need to do.
Making sure that they're not in bitmap format, which is a standard format
I
for.
wonder whether you could automate this.
Oh, of course you could. Yeah, well and truly.
Yeah.
Well and truly. And so it takes a few days because they must be absolutely hammered.
I think they like you in the bottom bit there. It says that they like you to sort of put down a bit of a brief description of your
Correct.
equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know about signal strength and sort of antenna gain and preamp gain and stuff, but I think for hams, if you just put down for using a directional antenna and
I know. Well and truly.
just to give them a bit of an idea.
Well and truly. So that's if you put in ARISS SSTV image submission into Google, I can guarantee you'll find it.
Okay.
And that then goes to that other page, which if we head over here, that then goes to for your area. It eventually appears in that area. You'll notice, like this has got. That was actually last night's, I think, and if I go down to the bottom of the page, you have 2 unreviewed images that are sitting there, and the volunteer team will get to them as soon as time permits. So you just got to be a little bit patient there, and yes, they must absolutely get
I
hammered.
wonder how many they've had uploaded.
Just be absolutely hammered. So that's how you upload to that. And if you upload a really good image, noise-free image, you've got the chance of getting it on the front page. So and there's lots of images on that front page. So yeah.
There's a few other places run awards too. I know
Correct.
Argentina.
Indonesia?
Indonesia, sort of, and I think there's a few European sort of radio clubs and things run little award things, so that
You
sort of
upload
scour Facebook and you get all sorts of
the
sort of
image
shack pictures,
Correct.
or shack awards. You can.
Oh, it's really good. Some they want 3 images or one. They only want 1 image or whatever else, and you upload it and bang.
There was one we did. I think I did for that Indonesian one where they wanted you had to run it through a bit of thing, and you actually had to put a time and date stamp actually on the image. They actually Photoshop it because one of the applications that they use apparently automatically did that.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
Okay.
I didn't use because my Spanish is not overly good.
Google Translator. Come on.
But,
There's an app for that.
doesn't that?
Oh, very good. So anyway, that answer your question, Steve.
Yeah, it does. And obviously, I did it many years ago and forgotten all
Oh
about
no, you've got all the RS1 ISS that satellite definitely, and it just gives you a bit of a chronology too. It's great looking back through it and sort of going, oh okay, yeah, there you go. So now we've
Time
got
check.
3 minutes. So 3 minutes, and we've got 7 minutes after that. So that's all right. What we might do though, the other big news that was happening to this week was
James Webb.
the launch on Christmas Day of the James Webb Space Telescope. Now, I'm going to put this URL on the video description because this is a fantastic website which shows you
where all of the spacecraft are and how far they are away. And
No. This is specifically James Webb,
okay, yep.
and it's the deployment of the James Webb. So what you're looking at here is you've got the particular position of the James Webb right at the moment, but there is this timeline, which is they're unfurling the sun shield right at the moment. Then they go into the secondary mirror, then the primary mirror, then the mirror segments, and all the way through to, in about a month's time, they get into basically the L2 orbit, which is where they can get some of these spectacular images out into the universe. So this is showing you all of the stuff that they're currently doing to deploy the James Webb Telescope, which is just phenomenal. And the fact that they've got it up there is even better. I made a joke with Ben. I wonder if any insurance company was prepared to actually insure the launch, given that there was something like about $3 or $4 billion worth of telescope on this rocket, on the top of this rocket ship.
They'll probably insure it for scrap value.
You just got to come collect it.
Yeah. Oh my God. But I'll put the link in the email edition, the video description edition, because fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it then goes through what each of these things they're actually doing in the actual website. So
That'd be interesting to see the difference between the hot side and the cold side.
well and truly. So they're obviously doing the deployment. They're commissioning things. They're going through all of the bits and pieces. There was actually a there were. I'll see if I can find it. This is quite funny. Now we'll just do a time check. It's 8 o'clock. There was there are lots of jokes flying around the internet right at the moment around the launch of the James Webb Telescope, and this particular one is quite funny. I'll come on. Cucumber 3. I'll just zoom in here. This is the first image that was received from the James Webb Telescope.
I saw that.
Which was
Right.
removed before flight. Anyway,
some guy will be going, one job, you had one freaking job.
There's some truth in that. You've heard about the Russian spacecraft that went to Venus,
No.
and it landed. Everything was successful. The first image it sent back was of the lens cap sitting on the ground.
Good work.
And that was it. The spacecraft was.
Can you imagine? Can you just imagine the atmosphere in the control room? It's like really, dude. You're looking around. Who was that? Was that
That
Steve?
was supposed to fall off earlier.
Who was
Not
that
there.
guy? Who was that guy? All right. Okay. So what we will now do is, I'll just do a bit of a quick recap before we. Oh, that was a bit tricky. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I've made everybody seasick. Just a quick reminder of our arrangement here. We've got an IC-705, which I don't think needs any introduction. We've got it connected via USB to a GPD MicroPC. This is a little 64-bit PC. It's running Gpredict and the Hamlib libraries. The Hamlib library does include an IC-705 drivers and knows all about the 705. It's running MMSSTV, which is what Richard talked about earlier. And so the Gpredict, what it is doing the tracking of the ISS, it's doing the Doppler adjustment as well, and then that's all through the cat control via USB. Thank you, Steve. And the audio paths are also coming back through both send and receive, also coming back through the USB as well, and going into MMSSTV. So let's zoom in here to show you MMSSTV up close and personal. Let's see if we can get the focus better on that. That'll do.
How cool is it that all this stuff now goes via USB instead of isolation transformers and hum and all sorts of...
It is just phenomenal. Absolutely.
Just plug one
phenomenal.
cable in and it works. Like,
so we're at 2003. So I might head out here for a moment. And I'm just going to blow my nose, and it's hay fever. It's not COVID, dreaded COVID. Hay fever, for those people who suffer from hay fever, I thoroughly know what you're going through, people. And it's an absolute shocker. Now, okay, so let's just do a few quick checks here. We've got... we're just going to do a check that 803002, that's good. So we're still tracking with the Gpredict, and it's still doing the Doppler shift for me. That's fantastic. We'll just open the mute up a little bit. Now, what we're looking at here is the polar view here, which shows SO50 is right down in the southeast corner. The next is the ISS in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. It's giving you the data from the ISS here. If we go down here, there's a really neat little feature here which says future passes, and this gives us all the future passes. There's about 10 of the next future passes, so that's really handy. You can see these are the ground paths of the ISS, and it's just coming around. You can see VK7OTC, little blue VK7OTC here, which it's about to hit. So now across to MMSSTV, you've got the last image that was decoded. You've got your audio spectrum here and your various sync lines and the bits and pieces here. So that really runs itself. It's in auto mode, even though we could put it in PD120. So PD120 just means that it takes 2 minutes for a complete image to be brought down. It is a 50% duty cycle. So what you've got is 2 minutes of image, 2 minutes of no transmission, and then 2 minutes. I think they need to let the transmitter cool down. Although they're probably not transmitting that much in the way of power. But so 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So if your pass, a really good pass is about what, 10 minutes ish.
10 minutes is a really good one, I think.
10 minutes is a really, really good one. So potentially you might get 3 images if you're really, really lucky. Really, really lucky in the stars. The stars align. Ah, that was bad. So it's a matter of we've got the ISS in about 40 seconds. Will appear on the polar diagram, and it'll. I hope I've configured it so that it'll show the path. These circles, okay, that's the 30-degree circle, the 60-degree circle, and the 90-degree circle. So it gives you an idea about what elevation, as it goes across, that's 30, 60, and 90 degrees. So it gives you a bit of an idea about what sort of elevation, and then you've got the compass points of north, south, west, and east, and it gives you an idea about where it's coming into the sky and then going out of the pass. Okay, here we go. All right, it's in the southwest, which is good for this antenna that happens to be on the roof. So we've got it coming in at the southwest. It goes, and I think it'll go across the south and go out the east. So we'll just, in fact, I thought, I must not have turned on the right thing here. I thought that it actually would have drawn the line for the pass, but I haven't checked the right box. I've got it ticked on the one at home, but I haven't got it ticked on this one. So anyway, so it's coming up over Mt Wellington, so not expecting anything just yet.
It's a big bit of ground in the way.
There's a big bit of dolerite. And so it's coming out of 90, so from the horizon, effectively coming into what, about 85. 85, and it's a waiting game at this stage, and once you start hearing the tones, then you'll start to see over here some activity around these sync pulses, where some peaks appear on these sync pulses, and also this automatic level detection here, you'll start to see go green, and once it gets synced, that stays in green, and it automatically follows that level.
It goes green when you get sync.
Yeah, spot on.
And then it doesn't start to go green, it goes green.
Okay. It goes one shade of green, one shade of green, one shade of green.
You just don't want it to go red.
Yeah, about that green actually, about the chroma key screen. Oh, here we go. And there we go, it's gone green. You can see some of the peaks around, first of all, that 1200 sync pulse.
Go to the RX tab, Justin.
Oh, there we go.
That's the picture coming in.
As it builds up each line, you can hear each line. And it's 1 line a second, isn't it? It's 120 lines.
Yeah.
2 minutes to send.
Yeah. So there's 120 lines that make up the picture.
So a line a second.
Yeah.
Is it 120? I don't think it is.
Yeah, clearly 120.
I would have thought 120 was how long it took. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up.
No, I'm not sure. We'll get back to you on that.
20 seconds, but
It's actually 128 on it. My time together now. 128.
Now the level's a bit high. Bloody ident on the repeater. That's all right. We just had a momentary lapse in concentration there.
Oh, it locked it. It dropped it. You haven't got. You've got auto restart connected.
No, that's all right.
You've got auto stop in there. You're going to turn your auto stop off. The right click on this picture
That's automatically tries to resync that.
and auto stop off.
There we go. Okay, we might do the second one.
Trying to kill it.
No, that's all right. Let it go. Because we've got 2 minutes. We're going to struggle with the next one because this is about a 20-degree pass, 22-degree pass. So, and it's going out due south-southeast, and that's.
It's pretty good signal strength.
There it goes. So that's the end. So we might get another.
No, just click on the auto at the top, Justin.
Where are we going?
Top of the receive list, auto at the top there. That'll stop it.
Auto history.
No. On the auto button in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the top set.
Sorry, used to Q SSTV, not MMSSTV. There are record and stop buttons. We'll just quieten that down a little bit. We're still well and truly there. We've got to wait the 2 minutes, and we might just get the beginning of the next
Next
image.
feet cut off, I reckon.
So that's, I think, 5 of 12. I think it is. Anyway, it's good.
Yeah.
So that's receiving an SSTV picture from the ISS. The one thing I didn't point out, and it's not actually on the screen, but the Doppler shift is all happening in the background. With the, if we come up a bit here, the Doppler shift is all happening right here on the 705. So and that's where it's finished. So it'll stop there until it gets to the next.
That's where it started. It started off with 803.
Oh,
There's the next one.
there's the next one. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Actually, it may not be.
I don't think that's Doppler shifting. No, it's not.
You did tick the button on Gpredict.
Yeah, I thought I did. Well,
That was on 803.
unless it's dropped out, because it was dropping in and out. That's the other thing.
How wide's your FM filter on that?
Well, it's out field at 1,
Okay.
so it's the widest, short of me actually adjusting it. And we're about to lose it.
That'll be that sudden surge before it disappears.
You do get that, don't you? You get
It's
a
like,
real
it's like a bit of a knife edge.
yeah.
It sort of like comes up really strong. And
I don't know. I just want to
used to get that with a Oscar 10 and Oscar 13. If you were working into,
You get that
UK.
last little.
if you're working into the UK, which is right on the horizon.
Yep.
Then a minute before, signals would come right up. And then,
Make those quick contacts,
so
and
you had like 2 minutes to make the contact.
I love it. Oh, we might get a full picture here.
Very green.
Except that sinks. That's just something's gone horribly wrong with that picture.
It's not happy, is it?
No.
When it's finished, I said I'll turn it up.
And I think we're about to lose it. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, I'll leave it with you, Steve. But that's you can come back, Richard. All is forgiven.
That's what I
Okay,
say.
the phase is way out. If you look at that image, Justin,
Yep.
that white line down the middle should be on the left-hand edge. So the phase is completely wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'll just see if I can get it in the right place. Yeah, that's about right. So now the image should be more visible. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you can move that sync line, can
That's
you?
what
on
the
that?
phase is. So you get the sync into the right place.
Okay.
Yep.
You've got the sync line's got to be vertical down the page.
Okay.
That's the sync adjustment, but then the phase adjustment, you can just shift it around and then it changes all the colours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And brings it back right again.
Yeah, in that case, it's got to be on the left.
Just got to ask the right people.
See, this is ask the subject matter expert on the particular application you use.
I've been using it for a while.
Yeah, well and truly. And Steve runs the 20 metre and the 10 metre.
20 metre, I assist with the 10 metre one.
Okay.
So that's all over the place, that one. That can be on 10 or 40 or anywhere.
Okay.
And lately he's had it on 20 metres overnight because he does a damn good job.
Okay.
Yeah, some pretty good pictures on there.
Very nice. Okay. All right.
There's a lot of activity on 10 metres. Last couple of days they've been doing some testing and stuff. A few
Yeah,
boys on
one of the guys has
28,
been tearing his hair out trying to get MMSSTV to work, and it took him half a day, but he got it.
Okay.
Some really nice test pictures.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good indeed. All right. So that is Slow Scan TV from the ISS. And thank you to Richard and Steve for their assistance. And the demonstration gremlins were well and truly there. So some would say I'm brave, some would say I'm stupid.
But the bottom line is, this is easy to do.
Well and truly.
You're making it look difficult by saying you're doing Doppler shift, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I'm not. I've just got an ordinary vertical antenna, which
Yep.
happens to be a dual band Collinear.
Yep.
I've got an FT211R,
Yep.
which is an old radio,
Yep.
and hooked up to an old computer running MMSSTV, and it all works.
And it all
Well,
works.
Harry was just having a crack out there with the radio and an app on his phone.
It's
So-
the ISS is the easiest thing in the world
Yeah.
as far as satellites go to work with.
And if you have that ability to open the bandwidth up to so the pass band up to 25 kilohertz, you don't even need Doppler shift.
Yeah, that's right.
You can for the period of time of the
Probably
pass.
with a handheld too, you can almost cheat and sort of just lay it over and sort of
Oh, no, well and truly.
match the polarity of the...
And in fact, the YouTube videos on using a handheld for the ISS and any satellites, they program progressive channels slightly, so you can do manual Doppler shift by basically going, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The only thing is you will get, if you're getting a picture, you will get a glitch in that though.
Yeah. So Please, I'm not
make it as complex as
I'm not
you
trying
want.
to make it. I'm not trying to make it that complex. But I also wanted to demonstrate that arrangement because that is the SOTA portable SOTA digital station where I can actually do the WSJT is on there. I've been doing FT8 on 30 meters and a few other things.
Oh, nice.
So that's the portable SOTA arrangement. So
6 metres even. Working with a VK6 on 6 metres.
Hey, up on a hill with a you could put in a Yagi or something. Anyway, okay, 3.4 gigahertz.
3.4 gigahertz.
Have we got a deal for you?
We need 2 more people. 2 more lucky customers.
Two more to get 9 on 9. So do yourself a favour, as Molly said, and if you're thinking about going up in frequency to slightly higher microwave frequencies, if you're big into 23 centimetres, then 3.4 gigs is just what you're looking for.
There's instant activity.
And it's the new Talk Around Town channel. So it's full quietening on FM. None of this. Don't even need to go to SSB. So the test that we did on Sunday after the 23 centimetre net, we had yourself, we had Steve, Brian, Alan, myself.
That's it, 5.
And we had 5.
So we've got Murray to come on.
Correct.
And Hayden's got gear, but he's a very busy dude.
So we need 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more. 2 more to make 9 on 9.
So yeah. And they'll get a definite workout on the. Now this is the other thing that we've got to remind people about.
The field day.
The Summer VHF and Microwave Field Day, which occurs on
the 15th and 16th of January.
Woohoo!
Which, coincidentally, is also the same date as the test that's at Belroof. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we already know we've won,
Lucky,
so that's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Don't need to go. Don't need to go to cricket.
Yeah, that's just a dead rubber.
Yeah.
Play field days instead.
Just go and do something more effective.
So hopefully there's going to be a few people on for the field day. We're trying to try and hatch a bit of a plan. It could be a cunning plan, Baldrick. But if we can coordinate the guys up north, they're always normally pretty keen.
Correct.
We've got our field day mobile. Murray spent a fair bit of time organising some stuff. We've got the antennas attached full time, so we just basically rock up, and we've got 2 metres and 70 centimetres just ready to deploy.
Yep. Okay.
6 metre vertical, which we'll probably use a Yagi this year.
Okay.
And just grab out the tripod for 10 gigs, and the 3.4 gigs and 2.4 gigs are mounted on their own mast.
Yep. With large unscrewing arrangements
With
that I was shown
large knobs
last
for unscrewing in the cold. Even in the summer field day, it gets cold on the Mt Wellington, my goodness.
When the sun goes down.
So look, hopefully we can work with it. Of course, the summer field day is always good. If you go somewhere a little bit elevated, I think last year Hayden and I were on Mt Wellington, and it might have been last year, year before, I can't remember, but
the year before.
We worked a lot on 6.
The year before.
Hayden was going great guns until the generator had a moment.
Because that was when I was down at Eagle Hook.
That's right, yeah.
And I was getting the VK4s and the VK2s on 6 metres.
We had a wicked run.
That's where all my points came from.
Yeah, I think we worked like 100 mainlanders. Like, it was just great.
Phenomenal.
So,
and 6 metres has been going off the last few days. I've noticed that with I put it on Whisper, and just going off.
Well, Hayden sort of talked to me last week. He's had his vertical down there at his place, and he's wanted to get a beam, so we were going to build a Moxon. So he came up the other day, and we were going to build some stuff, but we didn't build it. I ended up sending him away with my field day 6 metre Yagi, which is 5 elements.
Yeah.
YU70F design, and a few bits and pieces. And Hayden's put it up, and he's like, hearing
he's
America.
Hearing all sorts of stuff. And
I told him if he works America and I don't, that's it. The deal's off. The antenna's coming back.
Yeah,
Right,
it's coming back on my place.
That's it.
Oh, I love it.
He's got a really good lookout.
On Mount Nelson.
Yeah, to the east.
Yeah.
Whereas you've been to my place, I have a large amount of rock.
Yeah. You got a good to the west.
Have very good to the northwest.
And the northwest.
And the north is not bad, but the northwest
not bad to the south.
Is down there.
Antarctica?
Oh, well, I suppose.
Somebody in Antarctica could take 6 metres.
So yeah, 6 metres has been going off. So I worked out actually a couple of VK6s today on FT8, which is pretty cool.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Funny how, you try to work out where you're aiming, but it doesn't really matter because it's where.
I know.
It's where the problem. That's right. So you sort of go, oh well, there's a guy's coming in from VK6. Let me turn the beams to the west. Oh, well, they've dropped off. Okay, let's turn it back to. Don't pay any attention to the indicator on the rotator. Just peak for maximum signal.
Go with where it's coming from. I love it. I love it.
I've been north on 20 metres, and that's when I hear VK6.
It's just. You sort of wonder whether your antenna's actually not quite right, but it's just like, that's where all the E's are happening. So aim to the E's.
So field day Saturday 15th and 16th.
Yes, please find a bit of time to come on and get some numbers. Standard thing. We might do a thing for the broadcast, but
cool.
VK
Bandana.
CL. Yes, band dance. Just come on and just give out a few numbers. And,
Cool.
like, you know, if it's a nice day, it's a good opportunity to jump in your car and take a bit of a picnic.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Richard.
No worries.
Now, finish off with a few reminders. Open day is the 30th of January from 11 till 3 up here. Got bucket loads happening and things going off. AGM 6th of February. Just happened there.
That was a massive focal
Jump.
Wow, that just zoomed in quite substantially to something.
To a reflection.
To the reflection of the...
That's bizarre. Okay, sorry. The camera just do its own thing. Now, bit of a stop press. WIO Virtual AGM is being held down here on May the 7th. We have confirmed the date of May the 7th. That's a Saturday. Reast is actually hosting the virtual AGM and also the Antarctic Gateway theme. It'll be held down at IMAS Lecture Theatre. Down there, that's actually a streaming lecture theatre. They've got all the equipment to be able to stream from the lecture theatre. So our presenters will be presenting from there and we'll be streaming it to the rest of the world. And DATV broadcasts all through the Christmas and New Year period. So
We'll be here.
so there you go, with lots of other stuff going on and bits and pieces. So so that's our program for tonight. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2022. That happens on Friday night.
Hopefully we can get this COVID to heave ho and
Friday night
get
or
some stuff
Saturday
back to
night?
normal. Friday night.
Friday.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah, spoken like true hams. Like, oh, what night's New Year's Eve?
Oh yeah, it's the first. The first is Saturday, so New Year's Eve is Friday night.
No, first is Sunday.
No, not
No.
according to this calendar. It's Friday night. New Year's Eve is Friday night, so
Steve was going to be early.
it's going. A bit like that.
Let's
Caps,
let's
those
go through the whole thing.
those caps. So so yeah, happy 2022, and in fact the next time we see you will be in 2022, and hopefully it'll just all be much better. Anyway, all right, 73, and have a great and safe New Year, and we'll catch you in 2022.
73.
Catch you later.
Cheers.
Thanks, Justin VK7OO.